Hey, each and everybody, and welcome to another very special episode of Smoke and Mirrors. This episode is brought to you by water. 70% of the body, 70% of the planet. You put it together. And now, here's a song. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nibbling at his bell end. And now, here they are, your invenerable host, Carlos Karim Wyndham. Listen, it's been a very long day. Very much looking forward to smoking with you. Let's do this. Let's get it on. The Glockenspiel, so you know it's real. Held that in a little bit longer than I meant to, so I'm going to be extra high today. Let's do it one more time. Hell. Oh, my goodness gracious. Hello, my sweeties. Oh, it's wonderful to see you, to be with you here in this space today. You could be anywhere. You're here. I appreciate that. Have been doing a felicitation for many hours, and we're gonna do some show because I've been thinking about some things. I mean, the thing is, I wish I could be there and here, and doing a few other things at the same time. And stopping time so that I could do all of my projects. Like I wish I could finish my play. And also I have some songs I need to write. I have a couple of more bits I want to put a little more polish on. I have many, many shows I'd like to do. A few more facilitations I need to figure out. I have a couple of clients I need to tend to. I think I have a mailbox filled with stuff from y'all because I haven't been able to look at the email recently. And oh yeah, I'm a parent. So it all fits at the same time. Hey, let's ask you off the top that if you would like to be involved with this, there's so many ways. Listen, first subscribe, please, on the what is that there? That's the YouTube. Guys, subscribe on the Facebook. I don't care. You wanna become a patron? You can do that. That's Patreon at Smoke and Mirrors CCB. Honestly, these are the people who just make it possible for this to continue to happen. You see many of their names going across the screen right now. And if you just want to chuck in a buck, this is so great. You're just like, oh no, let me give you $5, $10, $25,000 for doing this. Well, you can do that at my Venmo at Carlos-Wyndham, Cash App at $CK Wyndham, PayPal /me, CK to the Wyndham. Okay, that's enough. Let's talk about these toasty treats. What is with these people, the white men, and they're toasting their nuts, or it's being suggested to the right that it should toast their nuts. Just a quick thing in the news, thought you should know. It is not enough that they are targeting trans folk and queer folk and black folk. Poor folk. They are, which is just about everybody, highest differential between the wealthy and the poor since the French Revolution is happening right here in this country right now. All that being true, what they're targeting is the masculinity of white men and suggesting that the way that they fix it is to expose their scroti, scrotums, scrotumusses to red light, which wouldn't do anything, first of all, except perhaps burn your scrotum. And even if you could, we can't inject light into the body. We know that already. But there's something going on with the right where they're very, very concerned about their masculinities right now. and ours and everybody else's. I don't know. Do you have a cup of fucks? Get you a sip and sip your fucks, because about this one, I'm out. I don't give a fuck. Mm. Oh, Tucker. A very quick thing also that is in the news before I get into the idea that I want to talk about with you, which is it's so much fun. We're going to get into it. Is that Mr. Dr. Fauci has said, "Hey, guess what? There's no more. Pandemic. But guess what? There is still a pandemic outside." To the degree that if you're not wearing your mask, even though all the mask restrictions are being lifted, you could still very likely get COVID. And also, he's not going to go to the correspondence dinner. Because if he goes, he's afraid he's going to be caught up in a super spreader event, because he thinks it's going to be one, because he thinks everybody there is going to have COVID, and he doesn't want COVID. But he said that it's okay for you to go out. I think that what he's actually sick of is death threats. But World Health Organization, look to the World Health Organization if you need information. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into some things. All right, how are you? First of all, those who are here. Thank you for being here. Wonderful to see you. Want to say it's always great to see my first run friends. Means we have time to be here together and can be in live interaction. I'm getting a little stuffy now. De la nariz. I wanna let you know that if you're hearing that, it's because it's true. I got last Friday, I got a booster. I got my second booster against the COVID. I got another vaccine. Because I like a vaccine. If anybody doesn't want their vaccine, I will take your vaccine. Oh yeah, no, it's a mess. It's a mess. It's not getting better faster. It's not getting better faster, Jen. Jessica, sorry, Jen. The fuck is Jen? Your name is Jessica. I know names. Sorry about that. But I did get another vaccine, and it's closing my nose, like I've got histamines in my body. Listen, go get a vaccine, and if you don't want yours, I'll take it. I'll use it for lotion. I'll use it like Visine and squirt it in my eyes. I'll put it on my tongue like acid. Hell, I'll jack off with it. I don't care. I don't care. So I'm psychic. That's the other part of it. Okay. So string theory is what I want to talk about today, because it's I think coming true, and in ways that we would not necessarily have expected. So string theory is this idea that is being presented in much more simple forms right now as multiverses. For instance, hey, look at this, folks coming in here. Go ahead with you. Multiverses, Chantrail, thank you for identifying. It's so good to know, because with a name like that coming in is, oh, hi, wonderful to see you. Talking about multiverses, talking about this idea. I don't know if you've ever had this feeling, if you've ever had a near miss in your life, if you're one of these, I don't know, let's just say gypsies of Gen X who is very lucky to be alive given some of the things that you ingested in the 90s, had a few near misses where you were maybe driving and shouldn't have been. Perhaps you should have driven off of a freeway and flipped the car, but didn't. Perhaps you didn't survive. I don't know what the sitch is. I have always felt that in each of those situations where somebody almost killed me, where I almost died, where some horrific thing almost happened to my body, my meat puppet, that it happened. And that body is shed. And now in this body, I'm walking around after the near miss. I felt this way for a very long time. And two things. One, a little bit autistic. A little bit autistic. Can't be a little bit autistic. That's being a little bit pregnant. What are you talking about? I have the autism. So seeing things visually and seeing things in a way just makes sense to me too. This theory, as I became a teenager, started to show up in books all over the place. As quantum physics was making its way into mainstream culture, being called string theory. The theory that there are multiple planets where you exist, multiple planes, multiple dimensions, multiple worlds, multiple realities, multiverses in which you exist right now while you also exist right here, and that everything that could ever have been happening to you is also happening to you right now. Uh-huh. Now, the way that they tried to explain this via this string theory was that a cat in a box. Okay, let's back up for a second. First of all, why is the fucking cat in the box? Who's putting cats in boxes? That's not how cats are treated. Cats don't do well in boxes. Cats don't really like boxes unless they decide that they're going to be the one in the box, but then you don't put a lid on it. They're going to start clawing at it to get out. What the fuck are you doing? Anyway, cat in a box. If you're on the outside of the box and I ask you to open the box and you are imagining that there may have been also in the box, I don't know, I tell you there was a poison and the cat died. And so what's in the box is a dead cat. And so in your head, now there's a dead cat in the box. But if you go over to the box and you open the box, inside the cat is alive, sleeping. There's no poison at all. Guess what? Both of those cats existed at the same time. Oh, shit. So basically, quantum string theory is just fancy science physicists' way of saying, hey, does a tree that falls down in the forest make a sound? And the answer is yes. Everything exists, right? If there's a version of you that you can imagine that is one way, that version does exist. If you had a thought of who you would be, if you were just, if you were only, but what about that missed opportunity? But what if I had married that person? But what if I had never married these other persons? Like any of those kinds of thoughts, that person exists someplace. Whoa! This is a lot to swallow. So I remember in the 90s, I remember as I was trying to explain this idea that was being introduced only in books because there weren't such a thing as like, I don't know, live streams on YouTube. That wasn't, what is that? That wasn't a thing. You had to talk about this in the dorms after you read it in a book, right? But now the same kids who were in the dorms reading the books are trying to put it into pop culture and have it be part of the conversation. And now it is happening. Okay, so I want to tell you now, there are going to be some spoilers ahead. If you are not interested in spoilers for any of the good things, go look at good things that have anything to do with this idea that I've been talking about, and then come back. For future viewers, I will say, Doctor Strange, the Strangest Doctor is not out yet. I can't spoil it. Here we go. All right. Did y'all see Moon Knight episode 5 yet? Holy shit. So for those who are unaware, Moon Knight is Marvel taking its swing at DID, dissociative identity disorder, and it is swinging for the damn defenses. My lord, I don't know if you seen it, but let me ask you this. If you grew up in a household where corporal punishment was expressed, and you've ever thought, well, I turned out okay, did you? Get to therapy. Get to therapy. Yeah, you do. Oh, yeah, you do. No, I'm telling you, I wake up on Wednesday mornings. I wake up very early, but I'm watching to see what happens by about 6 in the morning. I've seen Moon Knight before work on Wednesdays. So good, so good, so good. And I'm just going to say this too. So fucking sexy. Like, what is going on? How dare you? How dare you as somebody suffering and evoking all of the conflict that is associated with DID in very clear and more realistic terms than I have seen it expressed in any kind of filmographic way. Why you got to be so hot? He's like he's cutie. It's like it's my weekly erection time. It's a wonderful Wednesday morning. Let me say this too. Have you noticed that Oscar Isaac is kind of like a stretched out Peter Dinklage? Peter, now as I say that, if you think for 1 second that I don't think that Peter Dinklage is a sexy, you're out of your fucking mind. It's one of the things that my brother hates the most in terms of knowing things about me. The Dink is fine. The Dink is fine. It's the Dink's voice. It's the Dink's mannerisms. Look at the face. The Dink is handsome. Get out of here. And Oscar Isaac is just a stretched out Dink. So if you like Oscar Isaac, you kind of have a crush on the Dink. And that's really the point. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, multiverses. There's multiple of us everywhere all the time, all at once. And it's starting to make its way, that discussion, into what is it? Pop culture, right? Jessica, look at it. Yeah, that's them. That's them. You can't tell me which one is which. Which one is Oscar Isaac? Which one is Peter Dinklage? I can't tell. Oh, my goodness. Speaking of all the things that are happening all the time everywhere when you see them, Michelle Yao is putting it down in everything that you've ever seen. You're seeing at the same time before you saw it and you didn't see it. It is essentially so very good. I need to see it. But it's like, how does this, it was a little movie. It wasn't supposed to do anything. It wasn't supposed to make any noise. It wasn't supposed to make any ripples. Yet they're saying, and I'm going to see this before I go and see the other thing, that this is one of the purest expressions of what it would be to be in a multiverse and see all of the who you are wherever, and understand what is important is maybe not all the places that you could be, but the place where you are, I don't know. I think that's the story. Something like that. Anyway, if you're looking for an expression of string theory and quantum physics and pop culture, if you have seen it or you have not seen it, please go to see Michelle Yao in Everything All the Time, all the places at the same time, sometimes when you're not looking. Joshua didn't have time to make title cards for all of the movies that we'll be talking about today. Hey, if you're not comfortable going out, though, to the theaters yet, and you still want to see a thing where there is a multiverse, and it's kind of maddening, but you also are not so interested in watching a superhero movie or some shit like that, and you're like, man, Moon Knight, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't want to see this either necessarily, but I want to see it because it's in the theaters. But I'd love to see, a woman in one of these things. Wouldn't that be great? There's no women in anything. Well, let me tell you something. Russian Dolls, episode 2, the Russianers, right? What is it? What is Joshua? Russian Dolls, Russian to the Dolls 2. We are also rushing to the Dolls 2, starring Natasha Lyonne, is out on what is this, Netflix, right? It's the channel that's sinking. Oh man, what's happening? Their shares are dropping. Why? That many subscribers they lost. Well, I don't understand, but the Dolls from Russian 2 is out. Their marketing is shit. Okay. Yeah, no, that's true. I just kind of bumped into it. I didn't. Oh, really? How much money did they spend for those Michael Bay movies? Oh, they were horrible. Yeah, we're not in a pandemic anymore. I don't know. Do you want chicken later? Oh, you know what? Let's have a Oh, right. Hey! Another exploration of the multiverse and the idea of quantum string theory, the idea that we are made and comprised from all that we have ever experienced. And that means that we are also made of everything that those who had made us had experienced, and everything that they had experienced, and everything that they had experienced. And coming to some resolution about who you are in that multiplicity of experiences has a point. Gonna leave it there. I will say this. After I got my Fauci ouchie number 4, I'm on number 4. 2 times boosted. Boosted my booster. Double boosted. I binged this in a day. And man, oh man, oh man. I got my existential Christmas goose early this year. She's incredible. It's incredible. I'm getting stuff for you. You can hear it, right? You know what we should do? We should take a bong hit because that is good for the nasal passages, I hear. On with the program. So check that out if you can. So I told you before, now I'm going to spoil it. I said that in the theaters, and now it's everywhere. You can see it anywhere that you want to. This whole discussion of the multiverses and how many verses are there, how many verses have you written today? This really in pop culture, in immediate pop culture, really first started taking grounding in Spider-Man, the multiple Spider-Mans, Spidey Go Home. Spider-Man, the multiple Spider-Mans, Spidey Go Home. It really got into this idea of like, well, but yeah, but what if there was a Spider-Man over here and a Spider-Man over there and a Spider-Man over there? And then what if one time they all had to team up? Because sometimes what if there was a crack and everyone from every one of their little universes came to this universe? And then now, oh, what if the baddies came too? And now, okay, well, we'll team up, but we have to learn about who we are from all of the other places, right? So it's not just as simple as you're going to be with you, and so you're you, so you just know because you know different things from the different places. But how do you use all of that power at once for the greater good and not kill the Green Goblin? Very good. Very, very good. Which leads us to Doctor Strange, the Strangest Doctor. this is coming out on soon, and it is the story of what happens when the strangest doctor, broke the multiverses for the kid, but then also for Spider-Man. Spoiler alert! I told you for the Spider-Man and Spidey Go Home, but in Spider-Man Spidey Go Home, Doctor Strange, the strangest doctor, is also incorporating some of the ideas from Russian Doll. What if I was multiple me's? And some of those were not necessarily goodies, and some of those were not necessarily baddies, but also, what if I was my own dad or something? I'm guessing that's the plot. Some people are saying the plot has something to do with Wanda, something to do with Doctor Strange being brought to the Illuminati for being the one who was the one to break the universes and actually bring this whole discussion into pop culture right now, such that it keeps coming up. And I just had to see it happen in Moon Knight. I had to happen to see it in the Dolls from Russia, and then I also saw it in Where Is All of It Happening at the Same Time, where we are. And also Spider-Man is the Spider-Man who needs to go home. It's a lot of it. And I think there's a reason that it is happening. And I think we're going to get to that in just 1 second. Hey, if you have not yet listened to episode 151 of Myelin and Melanin, Raising the Temp on I don't know what. Listen, I'm not going to tell you where to listen to it. I'm not going to say that you should not listen to it on a station that is paying some people $200 million for them to bring the most listens over to their station so that they can start to sell them stuff and turn the people into commodities for even having the station. Wherever you like to listen to podcasts, your favorite podcatcher, even if it is that evil one with the green button, is going to be able to catch for you Myelin and Melanin Raising the Temp, episode 151, featuring Dana Townsend and myself. We're talking about oligarchs. We're talking about what's happening on Twitter right now. We're talking about it all and how we feel about it. Get into it. Go listen to it. Have a listen. Do it. Hey, go deal with that birth. Good luck getting the baby out of the birth canal. Okay. Wiping up the poop. That's where that came from. All right. Madison Cawthorn is also in the multiverse because the multiverse has broken. Okay? It's broken. It's not just only in the pop culture, it's also in politics. And the madness of the multiverse is happening here because there are multiple versions of multiple people all over the place. It's like when we're watching Moon Knight and you're going, well, wait a minute. Which Moon Knight is this? I don't understand. Is this Steven? No, this isn't. Who is this? Which one are we talking about, right? Is it Mark? I don't know. I can't tell. Do they have an accent? Do they not have an accent? Right? Okay, so check this out. There's a version of this 26-year-old man, young man, who is the politician who got himself elected to Congress. And he said he's a young man. He was very clear about the fact that he's a young man. He acknowledges that he's a young man. He said, hey, I know I'm kind of a young guy. I look at a lot of these people. This is when he got to Congress. Very righteous. Trump supporting. Righteous indignation. He said to us, I know I'm a young guy. I look at a lot of these people, a lot of them I looked up to. Then all of a sudden, you get invited to, hey, we're going to have kind of a sexual get together at one of our houses, and you should come. And he may have also suggested that there was an offering of cocaine at the same party, a couple of keys of cocaine, and that he was offered it. And he was like, "Whoa, dude! I thought we were the ones who were supposed to be just say no, man. I thought we were the Reaganites. I thought we were the good guys. I thought we were the ones who were going to attack trans kids for wearing the clothes that are associated with other bodies because we've gendered clothes as though they actually have, I don't know, genitalia." That same kid got in trouble with the leader of the Republican Party. It's amazing because that same kid the kid with the righteous indignation on the podcast could not possibly have been the same kid here in these women's underwear doing the drugs, the alcohols and stuff. That would be. It's not. There's multiple of them, right? That's the thing. There's more than one. Just like there's more than one Doctor Strange, more than one Michelle Yeoh, more than one of the redheaded Jewish Russian lady. There's more than one of all of us. There's more than one Moon Knight. So there certainly could be more than one Madison. So I would just offer that. March 30th, though, Kevin McCarthy, right? The leader of the Republican Party, supposedly, I guess, thought it was Trump, is listen, there could be more than one leader. I don't know. It scolded him on March 30th and told him, "Hey, you've lost my trust, buddy. You've lost my trust, and you're gonna have to earn it back." Anyway, that's what we were told. That's what we were told. It turns out that might not be entirely true. We just also heard from another ally of Donald Trump. Oh, excuse me. Another ally of Donald Trump. Hi. Oh, I swallowed it. That's no good. I swallowed the Trump. That's bad. Anyway, another one of their allies had come to defend this young man and was very, very clear. It is one of the senior allies with moral fortitude, I believe are the words. That would be the one Roger Stone. Roger Stone said that Congressman Madison Cawthorn just told me he has not retracted his claims about the drug-fueled orgies of the D.C. elites. He posted this on the media site Gab. Then he took a dig at Kevin McCarthy, who tried Wednesday to contain a situation that had blown up online of his own making. And he said, "Why would anyone believe a statement from McCarthy or anything that's on CNN? McCarthy is a corrupt rhino, and CNN lies about everything." Roger Stone said that. Must have been a different Roger Stone. Also, there seems to be more than one Kevin McCarthy. Speaking of a multiverse of madness, because Kevin McCarthy, who evidently scolded Cawthorn, also didn't scold Cawthorn, and also Kevin McCarthy knows that Marjorie Taylor Greene is a problem, but also works with Marjorie Taylor Greene. But also, Kevin McCarthy is a Trump supporter who wants to overthrow the government for the Republicans to be in charge of it all, but also doesn't want to do it the wrong way, but also was willing to do whatever it takes to do it, and also doesn't want to be allied with Trump because it's Trump's fault and he takes responsibility. And I assure you of this, but also he doesn't, and fuck you and fuck this, and you better get down here and kiss my ring, because some tapes got exposed from a book that's forthcoming where Kevin McCarthy did two things. He tried to cover his own ass and say that he and his crew had no knowledge of anything that was going to go on January 6th, and that they fully supported rectifying the situation immediately thereafter, but also they didn't, because he's on the team of all the Republicans and everyone's welcome, but also shut up some of the Republicans, and now all the tapes are out of him talking shit about his friends, including Congressman Matt Gaetz. Seen here being very, very sad and upset that it came out, and it came out in the news. It is the multiverse of liars, as Eric said. Matt Gaetz, who you'll remember, is currently under investigation for sex trafficking. And two of his buddies who were involved in that incident are currently in prison. Anyway, he talked shit about Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz is not happy. Matt Gaetz is talking shit about him now. He also evidently talked shit about Marjorie Taylor Greene, but Marjorie Taylor Greene is the truth teller, but also she was on the stand and she said she didn't believe in overturning the government, and she didn't believe that Nancy Pelosi is a traitor who should be hanged. But also, then when the evidence came out and they said, "Oh, well, can we see evidence number 5," or whatever the fuck they said, and she said, "Oh, wait a minute now," before they could read the evidence of her saying exactly that. She tried to reframe it more nicely. It still wasn't nice. It came down to Nancy Pelosi's a traitor, but I'm not. And then it came out later that she was also further trying to instigate martial law on January 14th, which is very far from the 6th, if I'm doing math right. Is that 16 from 4? That's a long time, right? Long time. Also, no time, because it's, we're all in the new time, where time doesn't exist again. It's like there never were clocks, almost like there was never an expansion of the railroad system through the indentured servitude of the Chinese and enslaved African labor. It's almost like that didn't even happen, or something. Yeah, Kevin McCarthy also then later was at the border of Mexico with Marjorie Taylor Greene. This happened a couple days ago. When he was asked about all of the lies he's told and the horrible liars who he's telling them to and with, he said, "Hey, but what about the border? Look over here." I think that was a different Kevin McCarthy, though. So I don't know which. This is because Kevin McCarthy is a strong man and he wants to be the Speaker of the House again, and he is working for it. And I think it's going to go well for him. I think it's going his way. It's looking good. And yeah, I'm sure that little man is. Oh, look at that! Oh, look at that! Look at that! Who's? But I thought Kevin McCarthy was doing. Where'd that come from? Kevin McCarthy's in charge of the Republicans. There's only one of them. Anyway, movies are cool. I think if we're taking anything from today, string theory is cool, and movies are cool, and Republicans are liars. Hey, do you like stand-up comedy? Huh? Do you, Eric? Because I do it. Huh? Come on, come see it at the Aftermath. Live comedy and music. Live music, and this time live performance for the Apocalypse. That's where we are right now. That's the first Thursday of every month. This happens to be Cinco de Mayo. What is that? That's a fake holiday made up to sell beer. So come on out to Alberta Street Pub at 1036 Northeast Alberta Street. You will see myself, Mix Dahlia, Delu, Bell. We will be there with Erica Day, the talented gay. Ronnie Macaroni is going to be on the set, and Scott the second is going to be headlining. You do not want to miss this. Doors are at 8 o'clock. Show begins at 8:30. Special performances after the comedians. My God, come on. What else? $10? $10? Come on! Hey, this has been another episode of Smoke and Mirrors. IG. I can't think of anything for that. I don't know. IG at Smoke and Mirrors CCB. That's the Instagram. If you would like to look at some pretty pictures or be reminded of any of the shows that you may have missed, IG at Smoke and Mirrors CCB. That B is for blackness, comedy, culture, and blackness. IG Smoke and Mirrors CCB. Hey, do you want to see some of the words that I'm saying? Well, for right now, God, we need to find a new platform. Twitter, I guess. At Caballo Negrito. Caballo Negrito. For those who are monolingual amongst us, translated means the oligarchs should not own our only forms of communication. Caballo Negrito, translated literally to mean the oligarchs should not own our only means of communication. Smoke and Mirrors, CCB at gmail.com for suggestions, thoughts, theories. I don't know. Maybe names that need to be on guest lists for you to bring some of that bubble filth. And this is the thing that's produced and hosted by myself, Carlos Kareem Wyndham. Associate producer, that's Joshua in the back. This has been another episode of Smoke and Mirrors. Please take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Get a vaccine. Get 2. Get 3. Get 4. Then you can sound as stuffy as I do for a whole week. Get monochlorals in my butt next. Oh, boy. I'm trying not to get the thing. All right. Hey, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. I love you. Okay.